the opportunity that we have now to discuss serious issues. Biko. To kick off,
we now cross live to Owerri, Imo State for the stakeholders meeting on the developments in the state. Let's listen in.
I think is the fourth in the series so far. I will start by thanking, please, can we maintain quiet? You came here to listen to me. Any side talk is a distraction, please. Let's not keep doing this. I want to thank everyone that found time in this festive season. I know many of you have a lot of things to do, so many places you have been invited to, but you made time to come here. I think the only reason is because you love our dear state dearly and you want it or things to be done right. And you have come to listen with an open mind to what I have to say and what our possible solutions are. So we'll try as much as possible to, please, total silence is distracting me, please. I have not, given a topic to what I want to talk about. There's no written anything. We just want to flow as it goes, just like a conversation. And I would say that I have framed this conversation to be like, say, who is thinking for Imo? This is all about Imo State. If some of you have been following closely in the media, you will notice that there has been a sustained, will I call it propaganda, will I call it PR, will I call it branding, on several media outlets projecting Imo as one successful experiment or one successful governance project that is working very well, right? Am I right? You have it somewhere, right? Oh, you've seen it, infrastructural development. In fact, recently, our government won the infrastructural governor of the year, Okwejoku. Please put your hands together for the governor. He won the infrastructure governor of the year. And the other, recently too, some, international titans came to Imo State for what was termed an economic summit in Imo State. So you look at it, you have the impression that all is well, all is working well. But what exactly is the state of Imo? Let us go beyond the noise. Let us go beyond politics. Let us go beyond, and look at it in its entirety. One thing about facts is that facts are very stubborn. No matter what you do about it, it remains facts. Truth and facts, they are stubborn. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't care what you think. It is just there. And people live it every day. Okay? People live it every day. So it doesn't matter the amount of PR. Even if you want, get the best of PR managers to brand you in any way they want to brand you. The facts will still remain the facts. What are the facts about Imo State? The stubborn facts about Imo State. So let's start from where the government wants us to believe that there is an attempt to transform Imo into a $1 trillion economy. A $1 trillion economy. So let's go beyond the noise. If you have invited people to say that you want to transform Imo State into a $1 trillion economy, it simply says, you have opened your doors, it simply says that I am ready. Ayadila ready, come and do business with us. Okwezoku, Imo State is ready. So let us look at what is Imo State's position in a ranking called ease of doing business. What is the experience? I come from the corporate world. I'm an entrepreneur. What is our experience when you want to do business in Imo State? A government agency known as PBEC, the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, did a survey in 2025 recently, and Imo State was ranked 18th out of the 36 states. We were ranked 18, and we were 4th in the southeast. We were 4th in the southeast. This is a federal government agency that did this ranking, and we were ranked 18. This 18 means that in the ease of doing business, Imo State bara 18. Now, everyone here is a parent. If your child comes home with a report card and tells you that, mommy, daddy, out of 36 in the class, I came 18th, you will clap for that child, right? Or tells you that out of 5, because there are 5 eastern states, that I came 4th, you will be very happy with that child. That tells you that something is fundamentally wrong, either with that child or you or the teacher, but something is wrong somewhere. And this ease of doing business analyzes so many things. It looks at your tax regime. It looks at your regulatory environment. Excuse me, sir. Please, sir. It looks at your tax regime, your regulatory environment. It looks at the security of the place, how friendly are of government to businesses. And so, if you are inviting the world that you are ready, and yet it is difficult to do business in your state, then something must be wrong. Somebody is either lying to themselves or lying to the entire world. This is a fact. It is not something I just got from nowhere. Another fact is that in terms of the health, because it is said, we are still looking at economics, they say health is, so if you are talking about the economy of a state, you also look at the health of that state or the people. One way to measure the health of a state is to pick a small segment. And one of those segments is perhaps to look at the maternal mortality rates. What it simply means that I'm breaking what maternal mortality rate means. After, during, or before, or after birth, how many remain alive? Another fact that Imo State, the maternal mortality rate in Imo State is the highest in Nigeria. The last time I said this, the agents of government went to town and said that I was manufacturing figures. But figures cannot be manufactured, especially if you have source. According to DataFight, a report in 2023 via the Ministry of Health and the CIA World Fact Book of 2023, it says the maternal mortality rate in Imo State is 1,837.1 for every 100,000 births. So that means that every 100,000 women, 1,800 of them die. Do you understand the implication? For every 100,000 women that give birth in Nigeria, almost 2,000 of them in Imo State, almost 2,000 of them will die giving birth. Amongst you, you will have experienced somebody or someone or somebody you know that died during childbirth. Okay, Joku. If you have experienced, please raise your hands up. So it is not just data, it is facts. It is stubborn. And you know what is scary? That the next state after Imo State which is Lagos State, Imo State is higher than it by double. So Lagos State is about 996, while Imo is almost 2,000. You will not be surprised. You can say, how is that possible? It is possible. Have you gone to see government-owned hospitals in Imo State? Will any of you wish for your enemy to go to government-owned hospitals in Imo State? I'm talking about the state-owned ones. All of you come from one local government or the other, right? You come from communities. If this health center, the health center in your community is functioning very well, raise your hand up. No, is it very, very well? Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Narambe Health Center is very functional.
Please put your hand, please clap for him. So out of the about 600 persons gathered here, only the one from Ahiazu Mbise is functioning very, very well. Clap for them, please.
Close there. I'm from the same community with him. That health center he said is functioning. It's being sponsored by our brothers abroad.
In other words, even the one that is functioning very well is not being, run by the government, but by the community. It's okay. So that simply means that this is not just some figure manufactured. Imagine a pregnant woman who is from any of these community, and the health centers are run down. What are the chances that woman, if there's a complication, will survive? Our people now resort to local midwives in the communities. Okay, Joku? That is what it is. I started by saying that facts are stubborn. You can't do anything about it. It doesn't matter, because after this session, they will go to town to say, this is that. It doesn't matter what you say about me. It's there. The facts are there. You live it every day. Okay? You live it every day. So it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what you call me. Facts are stubborn. Now, the next thing brings us to, because we are still remaining at the economic level, because everything is what economy. And I will come to it. The insecurity in the lands in our state, if you trace it very well, it has economic roots. Do I make myself clear? And we say, that's why I'm focusing on the economy. I'm looking at economic indicators. We want to talk facts, because the last time when I made my declaration, it was politics. Yeah, we had to, but now we want to, open up the basis for which we say that there is a need for change. Okay? It is not about just change for change's sake. We are saying change because things are not just working. That's the point we are making. And this is my case. I'm laying my case bare to Ndimo and to the world to see why we say that it is nice, it is better that if something is not working, perhaps a different way. Okay, good. So, thank you. We come to fiscal performance ranking. Fiscal performance, simply, are you disciplined in spending? If we go, not here, they're not here. If you are paid your salaries, you don't just get, of course we have what I call outliers. Once they get salaries, is the next drinking joints and some other, you understand what I mean? We have outliers. But any responsible family man, once he gets an income, we sit down and plan on how to spend the money. This one will go here, this one will go there, this one will go there. That's fiscal discipline. We will save this one, we will save this one. And that is also what states do. States should also do that. So I'm breaking it down so that you can understand what I'm saying. in terms of fiscal responsibility, our state ranks 26th in Nigeria out of 37 states, out of 36 states plus Abuja, 26th. And this is stated by the 2025 report of budget. Now, how many of you will be happy if your child comes home again that out of 37 students in class that he came 26th? How many of you? Now, this indicator is very serious. This indicator of fiscal performance is important because it's at the core of how your is being spent or utilized. What this thing simply says is that your budgetary allocations, expenditure is being mismanaged. That there is no discipline, no frugality, no prudence in the management of the monies that come to you. So I'm going to break it down, because once you look at the figure, then when you now juxtapose the figure, the statistics with reality on ground, the way we did for the health sector, right? Let's do it for the fiscal performance survey. Every one of us here come from a local government. I would say that the 27 local governments in Imo State are represented here, right? In the last 6 years, the combined 27 local governments in Imo have collected over 350 billion naira as allocation from the federal government. The Imo State government itself, from our calculations, from figures we have from the different offices that receive where allocations are given and all that, Imo State in the last 6 years has collected about 1.4 to 1.6 trillion naira. Trillion or billion. Trillion naira. Now, if your local government is where you come from, let us pick one local government, for example. Anybody from Mbitoli here? If you are from Mbitoli, stand up, please. Mbitoli, your local government has collected in the last 6 years about 20 billion naira. If Mbitoli local government looks like a local government that has collected 20 billion naira and all is doing well, please clap for Mbitoli. You can sit down. One of you should please stand, come close. Will you be right to therefore describe Mbitoli local government as a disappointment, having collected 20 billion naira?
Yes.
Please sit down. If you are beloved Imo State, our beloved Imo State, it's like a state that 1.4 to 1.6 trillion has entered into it in the last 6 years, and you are so proud of it. Please stand up. So you see, when this ranking says that we are 26th out of 36 states, it is not lying. It is not lying. Facts are stubborn. We live it every day. There's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how many branding managers you pick. It doesn't matter how many adverts you take on national TV. It doesn't matter how many influencers you pay. Facts will remain stubborn because we live it every day. We go to economic viability. How viable is our state? Viability simply means, please, one house. This is serious business. This is serious business. We didn't gather here for jokes. How viable is our state? Okay, let me explain this. Let me break it down. I'm breaking it down for those who are watching. I want to break it down very slow. If today, viability simply means that if today federal government says managula, oil, agula, VAT, agula, you are subnational, do raise and do as you raise, that is what you spend. Everybody on your own. Will our state survive? No, let's not answer yet. Let's go back to the board. Statistics by budget says that the economic viability and dependence of federal revenue, that survey, the indicator, Imo State is number 30 out of 36 states. You see how we are falling slowly? Number 30 out of 30. In fact, states in the far north that are undergoing all kinds of crises are even better placed than our state. We are number 30. So today, if the federal government said all man on your own, Imo State is gone. We are not viable. It's as simple as that. Imo State depends wholly on federal allocation. I didn't say this. The statistics are there. Budget. I am giving the source. Budget 2025 State of State reports. Our state is not viable. And how do you know that your state? Because you say, "Wow, Mazi, what are you saying? How can you say it's not viable?" Can't you see? Another indicator to know if it's viable is remove the amount of money in terms of federal allocation. Let us now look at the IGR component, that is internally generated revenue. So how much, where is the place of Imo State on IGR? We go back to the board. Imo State's IGR revenue to the IGR revenue to the federal revenue allocation. Imo State is the third lowest in Nigeria. That simply means that out of 36 states, Imo State is number 33. Let's give a round of applause for our states. I love the way we love high numbers. Out of 36 states, if you add Abuja 37, Imo State is if you add Abuja, that will be number 34. But if you remove Abuja, Imo State is number 33, third lowest in Nigeria. So you see that this indicator that says that we are not viable is correct. Do you understand what I mean? It's correct. It's simply correct. I didn't make this up. This was done by budget. In fact, only 5% of our revenue, is only 5% of the money that will comes from our internal revenue. 95% comes from federal allocations and other funds that come in. Now, this is where you are going to find very funny. How many of you know that Imo State, based on data, is classified as one of the most educated states? Yes, we are. We are one, if not the most educated state. Imo State is number one, I'm sure, based on certain other indicators, which I will come to. So you will think that as the most educated state, or one of the most educated states in Nigeria, that the education of our children should be paramount. Let me break your hearts. Do you know that 68,000 of your children have dropped out of school, primary school? 68,000. That is about 6% of the total child population in Imo State. This is according to the NBS, National Bureau of Statistics, not Dr. Chima Amadi. 68,000 of your children. I want to hazard the reason why this is so. I want to believe that these 68,000 are the children of the very poor amongst us who cannot afford private schools, because we all know here that the public education system in Imo State is gone. Let me not say it again. All of you here came from a local government, a community. If you're of my age, slightly below, you must have attended a public school, a community school. I attended primary school, Lumekune. If the community primary school in your community that you attended is still standing strong and performing the miracles that made you who you are today, please stand up. Nobody wants to stand up? In fact, the one where I come from is now where some miscreants in my community use to drugs. There's no teacher anymore. They only have a headmaster who comes maybe once, never. How can you come to school when there are no students? Because virtually everyone in my community have sent their children to private schools. Some of these private schools mostly substandard. In fact, in my community, I pay the school fees of over 200 students in different private schools. No, don't clap. It's not like, don't worry about it. But do you know what the irony? The irony is that every year, Imo State still does very, very well in WAEC exams. In fact, sometimes we rank very high. So somebody will say, Manzi, why are you talking like this? But every year, Imo State comes first, virtually. I will tell you the reason why. I used to think that it is because maybe our students are now working so hard or what. I just found out recently that following the return of schools to the church, that about, if I'm not mistaken, 6,000 primary schools in Imo State is controlled by the Catholic Church, and over 1,000 secondary schools run by the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church charges almost next to nothing in terms of school fees. Do you understand? So it happens. Okay, we're back live. All right. So I said that the Catholic Church accounts right now for a large proportion of, the primary school and secondary schools in our state. And so that the government has left. So that perhaps is one of the reasons why, and of course the private schools. And so because again in the Catholic Church, it is not totally free. Okay? Some level of fees are paid. Remember, the free education policy is a government policy. The Catholic Church is not entirely a government organization, even though it's charity, but a small amount is charged. These 68,000 children are children whose parents could not afford to even pay near rock bottom fee that either the Catholic Church is charging or the high exorbitant fee that private schools are charging. So rather than go to this rotten, dilapidated, what I call centers of destruction called primary government school, these children choose to be out of school. You see them hawking on streets, and some of them have entered another quote unquote educational institution. My brothers, my sisters, do you know the number of young people that are now involved in Yahoo? Educating them, if you're not providing education for them in institutions where they should be learning, somebody will teach them. And now they are being taught by fraudsters in Imo State. Look, the other time I came home, and unfortunately a woman came to me and asked that I should please give her a laptop. I was like looking at this old woman. Why would this old woman? I was quite impressed. That, are you serious? That the ICT technology has gotten to where even in my community, old women want to use laptops. She said, no, it's not for her. That her son. Oh, that gladdened my heart. It gladdened my heart that this woman is thinking. I mean, she was almost 60 years old, thinking, ahead of time to get a laptop for her son. When she left, my mother called one. Yahoo. What? This woman was looking to get a laptop for her son to help the son in the Yahoo business. That broke my heart. Do you know that parents take their children to different Yahoo houses to teach? Before, parents take their children to go and be thesis. Now they take them to HQs, Yahoo learn. Because the government has failed in providing education for her young. And this number is actually scary. You see it every day. You see it every day when you go around during school hour. It's hawking. Facts are stubborn. The one that will break your heart is the poverty rate in Imo State. Please listen to me carefully. Please, let's maintain decorum. Excuse me. Let's maintain decorum. The poverty rate in Imo State. And this is not statistics. The poverty rate in Imo State is now 40.7%. Almost half of our people are not just poor, but they are multidimensionally poor. In 2019, when they came to power, the poverty rate in Imo State was 28.9%. So between 2019 and now, they have moved us poorer, 12%. So become poorer than when they met us. They have become poorer. This is not something you should just watch and look. In the last 6 years, have you become better? Are you now 6 years ago? If you're better, raise your hand up. So you see that there's something about this data, isn't it? If out of about 600 of you, nobody here can say, see, than how I was 6 years ago. That tells you that these statistics is not a joke. It's not a joke. Do you know what is also interesting? Is that do you know what's more interesting is that while we have gotten poorer as a people and as a state, our beloved governor is considered one of the most generous governors in Nigeria. Who knows that our governor is very generous? Raise your hand up. He's very generous. If you meet the man, your life will not be the same again. So something must be wrong somewhere. Some people must be making a fortune out of our collective misfortune. Didn't say anything. I'm just saying we have become very poor, even with all the resources coming into the state. Now, we gathered over 1,000, I don't know how many thousands that came to our state for economic summit. They brought everybody. Let me break your heart. Because the worst kind of lie is the lie that somebody will tell to himself. You don't lie to yourself. In between 2023 to 2025, Imo State has attracted, wait for it, 0 FDI, foreign direct investment, 0. That means Odiegoshi or foreign investors there are into, and then you gather people together that you are doing economic summit to summarize what? To talk about what? Exactly. You think business people are fools? You think capital is stupid? This is not government money. This is private money. I'm a businessman. I go to a place where my money is safe and secure. I want to ask, is it safe? If I put in anything here, will it be safe? If there is the dispute, the judicial system in the states can resolve it. How many of you know that the judiciary in Imo State has been comatose for 2 years now? So if there is dispute, is the judiciary independent enough to, adjudicate over this? What are the incentives? What is the tax regime? What is the infrastructure? How is the road network? This is the question that capital asks before it cites its money. Do you understand? Let us pretend for once that all of you are rich billionaires. I pray in Jesus' name. Many of you, given the condition of Imo State, where capital go, we come and cite a business here. Raise your hand up. In fact, one of our brothers said he had to run away from Imo to go and set his business in Lagos. You heard that, right? I don't want to mention him. And yet you gathered people from far and wide. In fact, the first thing, if I was gathered in that place, the first thing that would let me know that it's a problem is that the soldiers and police that were in that environment protecting us is 5 times more than the people that gathered. That will tell me something, that something is wrong here. Then I also look at the roads where you are taking me to. I will look at other things. Look, with due respect to some of the people that were there, solid business people, some of those international, like motivational speakers, public figures that have retired, you pay them. Somebody like Boris Johnson appearance fee to come to your program. If you have 200,000 or 250,000 pounds, Boris Johnson will come and say very nice things about you. It's on the internet. I didn't say something. His speaking fee, appearance fee is all on the internet. They have it there. You understand what I mean? They will say very nice things about you. They will come there, finish, and they go. Only God knows how much was put together to bring those people here. Just for what? For a show of grandeur, delusional grandeur. Money that will have been put to better use. You gather people for what? $1 trillion economy? Nigeria is not even $1 trillion economy yet. You get the basics right. You know, I don't even want to talk about, like we started by applauding our governor for winning the infrastructure governor of the year, right? That Imo, according to Stats 2024, that Imo State has the top road network in Nigeria. So out of 36 states, we are number 33. I want to know those brilliant journalists of minds. And after looking at all Nigerian states, arrived at the fact that we are having it so nice that we had to win the infrastructure. Okay, so because I say facts are stubborn, if you are comfortable with the road network in Imo State and it's so fantastic, stand up. Out of 600 of you. Facts are stubborn. So if statistics says that we are number 33 out of 36, are they right? Are they right to say that we are 33 out of 36 in terms of road networks? Let me tell you something. I'm going to give credit to who credit is due. I'm going to say it. I'm not a politician in the true sense of the word. If our governor does one thing, I'm impressed about him, and I'm going to say this publicly, is that any road he constructs is solid, right? We can't take it away from him. The man has taste for solid things, but he should do it more often. The other day I was flying from, was it Mbise? What's that road there? You know, yes, Umisumahia roads, solid roads from beginning to end. Street lit, no bump, fantastic road. When the man gets it right, you tell it that he has a good taste in the quality of the jobs that he does in terms of road, especially federal roads. I will give it to him. I will not take it away from him. Quality. Because we have been in a state where arrows or tar, Mirizoechi, Yafo, Okweshoku. I would wish, in my heart of hearts, that we can see more of these kinds of things everywhere. I want to stand here and applaud the man. I want to stand here and say, that's my governor. I don't want to do this. I'm okay being a scholar and a business person. Do you understand what I mean? I'm okay doing that. I don't need to do this. If anybody had told me 3 years ago that I would want to do this, I would say, please, you don't know what you're saying. The truth is, the ones that are done is too little, given what the needs of our people. Have you been to Ngobala recently? There is no road in Ngobala that is passable. And that is the same for virtually every place. You understand what I mean? So, yes, I want to see those kind of solid roads that you construct in federal roads. Also take it to the state roads. Make it go wide. I know money is not enough, can never be enough, because there are competing, different needs and wants. So you have to sit down and decide which one should come first, which one to go, and then you leave, the next person continues, right? But that is all it is. So these statistics is right. Do I want to talk about crime? According to the Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey, Imo State experienced the most deaths due to insecurity in the whole of the Southeast. So this is the state of our state. This is the state of our state in a nutshell. That tells me that Imo State is not well. It has to be done. So we have talked about what is not right. Let me also tell you some alternatives. Please come. Some alternatives. So, Mazi, you've talked about the problem. So, what are you going to do about it? Right? Okwejoku, what do you want to do about it? Perchance, you get the mandate of the people and you're there. What are you going to do? Or what would be the alternative? I'm going to run through this. First of all, we will have to say that there is a problem of insecurity in our land, right? We have an insecurity problem. The governor did not start it. That is the truth. It was there before him. But the approach of the state is not holistic enough. It is not everything that kinetic approach can solve. Do you understand? Sometimes you engage in solid dialogue. The insecurity in our state is multi-layered. When the agitation, when they iwe, you kill somebody today, the family, that's not what I mean. Reprisal. Then there is a criminality component of it. So you need to have a holistic approach to resolving conflict that will involve the traditional leaders, the church, that will not listen to pastor here or bishop here or priest here or kwejoku. And then when you isolate all those, you can now say, okay, these ones are criminals. You also set up some kind of, healing where people will have to talk and speak up their minds, because when you bottle in grievances, sometimes it will explode. Sir, you are distracting us, sir. And then the next thing you do is create a program of, what people call amnesty. And then after that, you can now say, have you done all this? We will not deal in a kinetic way for those and those they are criminals. And even in the kinetic approach, it's not just about God. There are certain things you can do with technology. Technology can be used, adapted. You also need to think seriously about the economic part. Because at the core, I saw a video of some young boys that have driven communities away and taken over the houses of people, living large in their houses. It's simply hunger. You also need to look at the economic component and get your economics right. And so in getting economics right, one of the first things you need to do is to look at creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Get your incentives right. Get the business environment right. Get the infrastructures right. And begin to industrialize. Imo State, our founding fathers left us enough. I went to Adapam 2 days ago and I wept. My brothers, my sisters, Adapam can feed this state. Same thing. Yeah. Get it right, Adapam will feed this state. But it is there wasting. Mbakwe left and the Michael Operas. You have Adapam, you have the rubber. Have you been to rubber plantation in Atemba Ramanungo and Ngobala? Oh, you weep. Do you know how many people that thing can employ? Do you know the revenue you will make exporting latex and the value added, chain and other things, derivatives, factories that you can make on that? What about the shoe factory? What about the extrusion? What about the paint? These things are there. You revive them. I believe in the state's capital development. You try, where there is transparency in governance, people will come to partner with you. While doing that, also think about creating what you call a services-driven economy. Our state is filled with so many educated people. Create a services industry. with the number of educated people we have, it can drive that industry. Lagos State alone, look, God has given us a lot. If you get Uguta Lake very right, Uguta Lake is capable of generating a lot of money. Just in the month of December last year, 30 December, Lagos State raised $71 million in 1 month. Do you know what you can do if we create? And most of these people doing 30 December coming back abroad are our children, who because of insecurity, when they arrive, they remain in Lagos. Do you know what can happen if you create an alternative to Lagos? Lagos Ojube. Lagos is filled up. Create an alternative here. Create places to go to. Uguta Lake is a beautiful place. What about the Blue River? There's so many things to do here. I'm happy and I want to thank the governor for establishing the Imo Beach. You can deepen it. There are things you can do. Be methodical in seeing tourism as a money-making sector, not just as a pastime. No. Business of government is a serious business. You don't just do it perfunctorily. There's so many things you can use in the services. You can create a situation where our hospitals, our educational system can become revenue generating. If you create, people live here to go to Ghana now. People go to Kenya. People go to Dubai. Why don't you say that the catcher is that in Imo State, it is 40%, 30% less than going out? Do you know what that means? These things are possible. They can be done. We don't have too much land, but the land that we have, we should move our people from subsistence farming to real agribusiness. Not just the annual abadere, move to the chain, to agribusiness. We are the extension workers of those days. Be aggressive in doing the business of government, especially when it comes to empowering people. Empowerment is not buying wheelbarrow for people. Empowerment is not buying motorcycle for people. Empowerment is not gathering women together and giving them 5,000. Empowerment is creating what you call technical and vocational education. Let these children go to these places, come out, give them a starter pack. What about micro, small, and medium enterprises? Our mothers in the villages are all business people. Do you know what is killing our mothers in the villages? Interest they borrow from meetings. Every time these women are suffering because of interest from meetings. So why don't you stand in the gap? Give direct money to those cooperatives at zero interest and watch how these women will thrive. Nobody steals ego. There is nobody. Go and read Peter Ake's, thank you very much. 2 Publics. It is in the towns, in government there, they sleep. In our communities, how have they been doing it for years? That till now, anybody that borrows money from these cooperatives returns their money. So you can use it. Involve the community-based institutions. Involve the church. If the priest says this person is of standing moral, that is a guarantee you need. Not to go and bring one land. Not to go and bring one. If the priest says it's good enough. If the traditional ruler says it's good enough. If the PG says it's good enough, give the person the money. Please. The women will manage it well. Remove bottlenecks for assessing, these loans. As little as 100,000 can make a difference. I tested this and I was going from market to market. The lady I gave 1 million naira that was selling pepper, just pepper, and she managed to rent a small shop, but there's nothing inside. And I gave her 1 million and I said, start up. Go and see that small girl now. The woman I gave 200,000 naira, who was selling ube, has now included abacha, included cassava, included yam, included all things. The woman we get 500,000 naira, who was roasting yam, has now bought gas cooker and expanded. and is calling me to come and eat the yam again. This is what you can do. Not gather people and be giving them keke. Will you give your child keke as empowerment, as a leader? Will you give your child keke as a leader? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with keke. I'm just saying that be methodical in the business of real empowerment and triggering economy using the MSME scheme. It's holistic. Involve the church, involve the traditional institutions. You call traditional rulers that they should be proactive, crime in their state. Traditional rulers proactive. When the traditional ruler in Imo State, I don't know if any of them is collecting up to 250,000 a month. Meanwhile, in that community, there's an organ harvester who will come there and give him 5 million. Why would he make that person a chief, the traditional prime minister office? Are you getting what I'm saying? And look the other way when they start committing crime. When the constitution says that 5% of local government allocations should be used to take care of the emoluments of traditional rulers. If you do that, each traditional ruler, the least we get is close to 1 million. But some people are buying because they can do that. And then you want the traditional ruler to be responsible for security in his community. That is why things happen in their community. They look the other way. One of these that when they carry their this that they approach the traditional ruler. You saw that video, right? These are the issues. These are the issues. And so, human capital development, let's get our school system working again. Under us, primary schools, community primary schools will be revitalized to become standard and better than private schools in this state. Because education is the only thing that will bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. I am talking to you today because I am well educated. My parents spent their time and effort, and thank God for public education system. I know I come from a very poor home. I know that if my parents had to send me to private school back in the days, I would not be here today. The government schools were good then, whether it is the one I attended in Imo State or the one I attended in Kano State. They were good. I went to school, and here I am. And here I am today. I want the children of the poor to experience the same thing. Why must education be priced out of the reach of the poor? Why? Something happened the other day when on December 31st, a young girl, Victoria, as I begin to round up, ran to me. By 2 a.m., she jumped out of their father's house, came to me, and ran to me and held me. My security was like, leave her alone. Uncle Mazi, they say you help people. They say you help people. Please, Uncle Mazi, I want to be a doctor. I said, so why can't you be a doctor? My father is having financial problems. He can't pay my school fees again. Uncle Mazi, promise me. I know you will win. Promise me that if you win, people like me can go to school. I said, my daughter, cry no more. Whether I win or I don't win, you will go to school. Let's go and see your father. Have to live in the to come and look for solution where the state works. We are going under an administration led by Jim Amadi. Young people like that are brilliant. Me, she's best in physics, best in biology. Young girl like that knows automatically that there's a scholarship waiting for her. You incentivize education, especially for the girl child. Any girl that is involved in STEMs, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and doing well, automatic, without wasting scholarship. What are we doing with the money? Why can't we do it? Do you know how many people that Kano State alone sponsors abroad for scholarships? Then what is wrong with us as a people that we can't do that? When some of these people benefited from scholarship all through their lives, Yeruzi is the time for the poor. You stop all those things. We will not allow it. The time for the poor has come. The time for the people has come. Infrastructural development must be taken seriously. But my people, we cannot do this just by talking. The only way we can achieve this, if you people decide to expunge yourselves of some of the things that you people do that make the politicians take you for granted. And that is because you have sold your rights to politicians. The election season have come. You will sell your vote again. You will take 1,000, 2,000 naira. You will take a what do you call it, a cup of rice. You will sing bongo bongo for them. You will sing Jama Aisoginazu. You will not ask questions. The president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been shouting, I am giving money to governors. I am giving money to governors. Release this money. How many of you have written petitions? You think our problem is in Abuja? Mr. President is no. We don't have a problem with Mr. President. I never have any problem with the president. Our problem is here in Imo State. Get it very clear. Whoever comes here to tell you this is that, our problem is here. Do you understand me? The amount of money this man has released to state governors is unprecedented. He didn't even stop there. He goes ahead to court, takes them to court, release money. And what do we want the man to do again? Take the vote this time. Take it very seriously this time. Resist them. Do your part. Resist them. Vote. Register. How many of you have registered in this thing? Go and register if you have not registered. INEC has started registration. Go. Register. Vote. Remain there. Follow it all the way. Do your part. And when we get there, I assure you, Imo State of our dreams will be restored. Thank you.
This is wonderful.
Was the stakeholders meeting in Owerri, Imo State, bringing key stakeholders together for discussions.